Consider this. Your new employee is like a box of Legos. Have you ever hired someone and you've got just high expectations of exactly what it's going to be like, and then 6 weeks later, you begin to wonder, is this really the same person that I interviewed and told all of my friends was going to be able to change and revolutionize my business? We've all been there. You envision this perfect employee. You build a job description that matches it. You find a resume that meets up to what you're looking for. And whenever you interview the person, it feels like you've known each other for years, like this is a long lost friend. Then after a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, it starts to feel like this long lost friendship is starting to drift apart. And you wonder, who is this person? It almost happens every time. And too often we give up on the new employee before they've really had a chance to succeed. So let's compare this new relationship to something that many of us can understand either from our own childhood or maybe from kids or grandkids. The hobby of Legos. When you buy a box of Legos, you can see the finished product. You see the picture on the box. It's fun, it's perfectly formed, it's well built, and we dream about how much fun it's going to be whenever we build this new spaceship. But then you open the box. And whenever you open the box, it's nothing more than a bunch of pieces. No particular rhyme or reason. You think that maybe there's some potential of what it could be, but they just need to be put together, and all I see are seemingly broken pieces. So what do we do with the pieces? Do we throw them away? Of course not. Instead, we patiently read the instructions. We go step by step. We put them together until you create a finished product. And your new employee is just like this box of Legos. When you hire them, all you can see, all you can envision is this finished product. Everything's in place. You can imagine what it's going to be like when they're fully trained, when they're a fully productive member of your team. But after you've hired them, you start to see someone that doesn't know exactly what to do and doesn't do things quite the way you do them. And although they have some of the skills that you were looking for, they just don't do the job quite like you expected. What do you do now? Do you throw them out? Of course not. You train them. You work with them. You show them the way that you want things done. It's very tempting. In fact, it's normal to get frustrated during this challenging period of your new employee's tenure with your company. And it's during this time that we have to determine if the challenges we are seeing are an indication that they don't even have the pieces to do the job, or if the pieces are there, but they just need to be put together in the right way. And the reward comes when you take the time to work with the employee, and you have to keep reflecting on the person that you fell in love with and the things that you saw in them that you knew would be able to work, because you saw the picture on the box, and in due time, you'll have the end product that you knew you wanted, because you have the patience to invest in your new employee. And the next thing you know, you have a member of your team that you just can't live without. A 6-year-old built this one step at a time. They took the instructions and they patiently went through and built each individual piece. So the question is, are you willing to do the same thing when your new employee starts? Or do you get a few weeks in and say, you know what, this just isn't for me. I don't have the time to patiently put one piece together at a time. And I don't know that I can really invest the time in making sure that they're going to fit and that they're going to do the work that we need them to do. If you do this, you may be missing out on something great, which is the end product. You may be missing out on that perfect picture that you dreamed of. But remember, the perfect picture that you dreamed of is only after the work was put in to make it happen. So take the time, invest in your new employee, invest in the training, and understand, if you hear nothing else that I've said here, understand this. It's perfectly normal to get frustrated when you realize everything's not perfect right out of the box. That's our responsibility as leaders in our organization to help put them together one piece at a time. Take the time to do that, to lead your organization and build the team that you've always dreamed of.